What is up, guys? This is Orca Flop, and today I'm coming at you with another video. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Gander Outdoors 400 at Dover race for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. It was the first race in round 2 of the playoffs, or the round of 12. So, yeah, I guess let's get going. This is a mixed race. We start off, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick are starting up front. Kyle Busch gets an early jump on the outside, holds off the lead, leads for about like 5 laps, I want to say. Kyle Busch was leading. And then it seemed like Kyle Busch, he had a decent car, even though they made a lot of changes prior to the race starting. That, that happened. So, Kyle Busch had the early lead, and Harvick, as the long run car came in, we would soon realize that Harvick literally has the most dominant car of everyone else, and Harvick ends up taking the lead from Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch falls back to third against Keselowski, and then really nothing else happened in stage one, but Harvick won stage one. There was like green flag pit stops and such. I think at the end of stage one, Logano was able to cycle out and get to second. Then Boyer finished third, Keselowski fourth, and Kyle Busch finished fifth in stage one. Obviously, Harvick getting stage one, that was big for him. He needed those stage points, cause even though he's got a lot of stage points. But I guess, in this format, stage points matter so much, you just got to get what you can get. So that happened. And then we go into stage two, getting out on the pit stops after stage one. Chase Elliott gets an uncontrolled tire, even though it was in the line and it was in arm's reach. But so I don't know how Chase Elliott got a tire violation for that. I would scream about it, but I think it's a waste of breath. Even though Brandon Jones, whose tire went across the entire track, I guess that's not a tire violation. But when Chase is in literally arm's reach like they require, that's a tire violation, I guess, according to NASCAR. Again, fuck you, NASCAR. Your rules are stupid. So. I'm just losing my voice right now after I got done screaming at the end of this race, and I'll tell you why later. So, we go green for stage two. Harvick takes the lead. Logano drops to third or second, I want to say. And then Clint Boyer passes Logano for second. Harvick continues to do good. And then Harvick wins stage two. What else can you ask for, really? What else can you ask for? Harvick, he just cruised to stage two. I was hoping the lap traffic would hold up Kevin Harvick a little bit more, considering the fact that Bowman was trying to stay in the lead lap so he wouldn't lose any more points. He was really battling hard with Harvick, and I was hoping, that would prevail and that would help Clint Boyer, and it did, because Clint Boyer ended up catching Harvick a lot, so that was cool to see Clint Boyer make a run at it against Harvick. Sorry about the lighting right over here. That's bad. So I know. If you're going to complain about that, then I know. So yeah, Harvick won stage two. Bowman wasn't able to hold him off. He ended up going a lap down. Larson ended up going a lap down as well. Larson was my pick to win today, and my God, I think the only real reason Larson had a bad run overall today was because of the fact that the track conditions changed, and Larson's car wasn't really able to adapt to the sunnier track. So, Larson's car just didn't handle the way it wanted to. I think in practice it proved a lot differently, considering the track was more slick and moistured. So that definitely, I think, it was part of the reason why Larson didn't run as good as he wanted to today. So I think that was definitely had something big to do with it, and that's what you're gonna do. So yeah, Harvick wins stage two. Clint Boyer gets second. Almirola got third. Or actually, no, Almirola got fourth. No, he got third, and Kurt Busch got fourth. The top four were Stewart-Haas cars. By far, all today, Stewart-Haas Racing were dominant. They were running consistently at the top 15 the entire race. Kurt Busch, I think, out of all the Stewart-Haas cars, was the worst, but he was still a top 10/top 15 contender. So really, there's nothing much to say there. So we go green for stage three, and stage three is where things go off the rails. Harvick once again takes the lead, pulls away. Almirola's in third. Kurt Busch is sitting in fourth, as Boyer's in third. We go green for stage 3. Kyle Busch is lapping cars and lapping cars and lapping cars. Not Kyle Busch. Kevin Harvick is lapping cars, lapping cars, and lapping cars. And once he catches up to Kyle Busch, they know that they're not going to be able to make it the whole way on pit road. So they decide to go into pit road. And the green flag pit stops ensue. Kyle Busch goes on to pit road. Kevin Harvick goes on to pit road. Almirola, Clint Bowyer, everyone goes into pit road, okay? And Harvick, they changed the two left side tires. They forgot to change the right side tires. Hell yeah. I think really that pit road mistake with Kevin Harvick, that really set us the race for the rest of the way. That really set us up for a crazy race in the end, and I think that's what set it up to be the race it ended up being. So thank God Harvick's pit crew fucked up again. He's probably murdered them by now, if we're being honest. I'm sure Harvick has murdered his pit crew by now. But hell yeah, thank God. Karma's a bitch, Harvick. So then Kyle Busch got a speeding penalty. I forgot to mention after stage 3, Truex got a speeding penalty. Of course, that sucked for me, but it really didn't hurt him, so I wasn't too mad. So Truex ended up getting a top 15 in the end anyway. So it's one of those instances where it's I don't care so much, but then I do. But hey, it didn't really affect him in points as much as a later incident did. But what you gonna do? So that happened. Truex got a speeding penalty. Busch got a speeding penalty. Harvick messed up on pit road. Eric Almirola is leading. He's leading, and Stenhouse hits the wall at one point, but that's no caution because it wasn't bad enough to cause caution. As Almirola continues to lead at the pit cycle, teammate Clint Bowyer, actually no, as Almirola continues to lead, this caution would pretty much change everything. As Clint Bowyer was already complaining that he had a loose race car and he was struggling throughout most of the race. He was already complaining about that, but then a debris caution ensued where rubber fell off of Ross Chastain's car, and then Ross Chastain lost an axle that later Joey Logano hit towards the inside of pit road, and that caused Logano having to go into pit road, get taped up, and fix the damage. So Logano ended up going out with a whole right side taped up. So that caution happened. Of course, I was so mad because Eric Almirola, he had the track position. It was 12 to go, and he had the lead and he had the momentum. So that really actually no, it wasn't 12 to go. It was 20 or something to go. But still, you know what I mean. Almirola, he had the track position. It was looking so good for him. I really thought, this was Almirola's race to win, but I guess not, as we'll talk later. So caution comes out. We go green. Almirola gets a good restart on Brad Keselowski, who happened to take 2 tires. On that restart, he tried to take 2 tires gamble, and Keselowski looked strong on the restart because, as we know with Dover, as pace laps would ensue, all the rubber that lays down on the bottom mainly would get picked up by the cars again, and it would help the older tires a little bit better since they're picking up more rubber. It's just the way Dover surfaces, and it's just the way Dover works. So that's just kind of how it is. And, as Keselowski went with a 2-tire strategy, he would gain track position, and on his older tires, he would pick up rubber, and that would help him a lot. As Chase Elliott, still trying to recover from that stupid uncontrolled tire violation. Fuck you, NASCAR. That stupid uncontrolled tire violation. He made his way up into the top 10 by now, and it looked like Chase Elliott might have a chance to at least get a top 5, but not, as I will talk about later. Basically, we go green. Keselowski gets to jump on Almirola. Almirola gets him out of turn 2 and takes the lead. Keselowski falls back and gets passed by Kurt Busch, who simultaneously moved his way up after all this time. So Kurt Busch moved up to second. Hamlin was like in third. Blaney and Boyer was falling back like a rock because he had a track bar issue, and he was like losing it the rest of the race pretty much. As we go on, Boyer nearly spins out getting out of turn 3, and he continues to almost spin out. He goes into pit road. He's losing points, and he drops below the cutoff line because this is major championship implications. He gets out, and I want to say 5 laps later, huge championship implications into, and Boyer smacks the wall as Eric Almirola is leading, and Kurt Busch is second, Hamlin third. This really hurt Clint Boyer, really, really bad as he slammed the wall. The car was on fire. This would bring out a caution. We would have to go through another restart again, which obviously wasn't good. So yeah. So Boyer hit the wall. Boyer ended up dropping 10 points below the cut line because of this wreck, and it would really hurt Boyer's points, and it would hurt his championship run to get into round 3 of the playoffs. So that really affected Boyer badly. Boyer was doing okay going into this, and because of this one incident, Boyer's now below the cut line by 10 points. So, really sucks for Clint Boyer. He had a good car all day, too. At one point, he was contending with Harvick for the lead. But not everything goes the way you want them to, I guess, is the one thing to take away from this. So Boyer, yeah, he wrecks. Really sucks for Boyer. And this also sucks for Almirola, too. Because Almirola and Kurt Busch, they decided to go into pit road, take 4 fresh tires, while guys like Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski tried to stay out and play, see if they were gonna restart with 4 to go, so they were seeing if they could gamble and stay out front and maybe, hold their track position and win the race. As Almirola, Kurt Busch went into pit road, we would go green. Keselowski and Chase Elliott would lead us to the field. Chase Elliott would take the lead and pull away. It looked like this was Chase Elliott's win. But then Almirola making it 4 wide with Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Brad Keselowski. Almirola, oh my God, poor guy. Almirola hits the wall, comes down and hits Brad Keselowski. The big one ensues. Brad Keselowski wrecks. Truex wrecks. And now we're down to 4th in points. So if Truex has a bad day at Talladega, we're fucked. So that's just great. And that's just great, guys, I can't. If Truex has a bad day at Talladega, he could be in a bad spot for Kansas. That's just great. So little anger there. Keselowski gets involved. Ryan Blaney gets involved. Bowman gets hit hard, and he's out of the race. Keselowski and Truex are pretty much out of the race, except they're still in, though. Almirola gets damaged. Of course, Harvick got through it. I kind of forgot everyone else there. But, a lot of playoff guys like Ryan Blaney, Keselowski, Truex, Almirola, Bowman. A lot of playoff guys got in this one big wreck. And it really changed up the points. Now Alex Bowman would be 30 points to the bad, below the cut line. Almirola is now below the cut line by 10 points, as we know Clint Boyer was, since he slammed the wall really, really hard. And then you have Kyle Larson, who, again, I already talked about having a bad day. He was he's 12 points below the cut line as of now. So that's everyone below the cut line. Almirola, 10 points. Boyer by 10 points. Larson by 12 points. And then Bowman at 34 points. At this point, Bowman's best chance is Talladega. Larson could try to do good at Kansas. Same with Almirola and Boyer, but I don't even know if that'll happen. So we go green once again. As we know, Chase Elliott last went into pit road and pitted at lap 341. And then Hamlin last pitted at 393. So Hamlin has much fresher tires than Chase Elliott. You have Logano, who is starting to make his way through the field again. And you had also Eric Jones, who's behind Chase Elliott. We go green for overtime after a long red flag and disappointment for Eric Almirola. We go green. Chase Elliott gets a big shove from Eric Jones. Chase Elliott pulls out to the lead, and Chase Elliott is able to hold off Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott, the guy I've been making fun of since 2016, gets his second career win, and Chase Elliott wins at Dover and locks himself into round 3. Honestly, I'm so happy for Chase Elliott. He's definitely proving that, he's got talent. Really happy for Chase Elliott. I think that was unbelievable that Chase Elliott was able to take 52 laps, older tires, and beat Denny Hamlin on the restarts. Hamlin wasn't even really able to reel him in except on the straightaways. Chase Elliott got the turns perfect on Hamlin. So, awesome for Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's locked into round 3. Chase Elliott's got his second career win, second win of the season. Watkins Glen was the first, and now we got Dover. Awesome for Chase Elliott. Chevy gets their third win of the season. Chase Elliott is pretty much carrying General Motors' badge and Chevy's badge at this point. So, good for Chase Elliott. I really like Chase Elliott, even though I make fun of him sometimes. But I really like Chase Elliott. I think he's definitely proving that he's worthy of it. And this is Chase Elliott's breakout season that I think this is definitely the season we've been, predicting of Chase Elliott. Everyone predicted that he would have a breakout season. And lo and behold, it looks like he is. He's got 2 wins this season. Watkins Glen and Dover now. Chase Elliott is the only one locked into round 3 of the playoffs. He doesn't have to worry about Talladega or Kansas. So awesome for Chase Elliott. Congrats to you, man. That's awesome that you were able to take 52 laps slower tires and beat a faggot. That's awesome. But that faggot would be Denny Hamlin. Fuck Denny Hamlin. So, wow. But let's talk about Eric Almirola for a second. How about that heartbreak? One caution, it was at 37 to go? It's something like that. And he got a caution for debris. He ended up getting the restart well against Keselowski. And then a caution... And then a caution happened for Clint Boyer smacking the wall. So, yeah, my God. And then, of course, Almirola was caught up in the big one and got in the wreck. As you could tell in his interview and post-race, Almirola was really upset. He definitely deserved to win the race. A lot of people want to say he turned Keselowski, even though I think now, when I looked back at the replay, I think he just bounced off the wall and hit Keselowski innocently. Nothing really you can do about there. Kyle Busch didn't run as good as I expected him to do. He won the Fall Dover race last year, but I guess Kyle Busch just didn't have the right setup this week. Truex had a decent day. He was a top 10 car. And honestly, I'm fine with Truex getting a top 15. I mean, I was really pissed off about the speeding penalty and the fact that he got caught up in the big one, but at least Truex got a top 15 out of it, miraculously. So, at least Truex got a top 15. As long as Truex doesn't have a bad day at Talladega and drives conservative, which is what I'm hoping for, I think Truex will be fine and he'll move on in the next round. So that's good for me. I just want to keep thinking that way. Just Talladega, I really got to cheer for my boy Martin Truex Jr. because that could be the playoff defining race for my boy Truex. So we just gotta have a good day at Talladega, and I think we'll be fine. Keselowski, he is 7th in points now. He's 19 to the good. Again, as long as he has a good day at Talladega, gets some stage points, I think he'll be fine. Almirola, Clint Boyer, I said their best chances of winning is Talladega or Kansas. You just got to execute there. Bowman, I think, really needs to execute Talladega. Based off of what I've seen with his mile-and-a-half speed, he really hasn't done good. So I think Talladega is something that Bowman really has to look at. Kyle Larson, he's got to look at Kansas. He got 4th in the spring. I think if Larson carries the momentum he had from the spring race, I think he'll be just fine. But then again, it's a matter of how you're going to perform, how different is the car is going to feel, how is it going to be. So the 4 guys below the cutoff, Almirola, who got caught up in the big one and could have won this race. Definitely heartbreak for Almirola. I still feel bad for him. Boyer, heartbreak as well. He had a good car the entire day. He's 10 points to the bad. Larson, I expected him to run better today, and he's 12 points below the cutoff line. And Bowman's 34. I'm not that surprised. He wasn't really going to move on anyway. So, overall, I give the race a 4 out of 10 because really the first part was boring. Stage 1 and 2, nothing happened, but Harvick won both stages. Stage 3 was a shit show. You had the big one with Keselowski, Almirola, Blaney, and Truex and all of them, and you also... Sorry about that, guys. Some asshole had to call me. But as I was going to say at the end of this video, I give the race a 4 out of 10. I give it a 4 out of 10. Again, the beginning of the race was boring because Harvick basically swept the stages. And then you had Almirola get fucked over twice. And then the rest of the race was a shit show with Boyer hitting the wall, dropping below the cutoff line. And the big one with multiple drivers going below the cutoff line. And then at least Chase, This race would have been a 2 out of 10 if had Chase not won, but Chase Elliott really impressed me and took 2 tires and was able to come back and win. So, good for Chase Elliott. Congrats to Chase Elliott. Truex, let's just do okay at Talladega. Congrats, Chase Elliott, in locking yourself into round 3 of the playoffs and getting your second career win and second win of the season. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.